Hey, welcome back. It's 4 weeks tomorrow post-op, so I thought I'd give you an update. I'm heading on my hike. I have my backpack on. I don't know if you can see it, but I have my backpack on. I got a water bottle, lemonade, a lunch, blanket, and some necessary items for this hike because it's going to be a little longer than normal. I'm going to try to get in a 4 to 5 mile hike today. Our property, our land around here, all the land around here is pretty flat, so I don't have to worry about any of that. So I'm walking to a park down the road. It's about 1.5 miles down the road, and we're going to check this park out. They've got some loops in there, trails, 1.6 miles, 2 mile trails. I think they even have a 1 mile trail. So I'm going to take the smaller trail today. So it's 1.5 miles there. I got the tracker going, maybe 1 mile back. 1.5 miles back and 1 mile on the trail, 3.5, so 3 to 4 or 5 miles, maybe even 6 if I am feeling good. Got my hike boots on. I have my radio in my backpack. Maybe I'll listen to a repeater out of Big Rapids. So let's have a good walk. Okay, guys, I'll see you on the trail. We're at 1.42 miles. We're averaging 2 miles an hour. Not bad. A little faster than normal. You know, one of the things I've made sure during this whole time, I've been really making sure every morning, within 30 minutes of me waking up, I drink my protein shake, which is pretty close to 30 milligrams of, or 30 grams of protein. And then within 30 minutes of that, I do my first morning workout. So we made it. And we're gonna get this hike going. Let me show you this map here. So we're right here right now. And I think what I'm gonna do, which direction I wanna go? I wanna get around this, come up here. Yeah, I think this is what we wanna do, something like this. National Forest spur, maybe I can get on the North Country Hike Trail right here, then come up and around. So, what are we looking at? Yeah, it's gonna be a few miles. Show you some of it. That way. So I'm going to go like this. Check out this ant mound. Not too active. Interesting. Plus we're just getting out of winter. A little history about this grade that I'm walking on. You can see you might not be able to see it right there. There's a trench where all the dirt was thrown up onto this. The dirt from that trench was thrown up here. This used to be an old railroad grade. And back over 100 years ago when they built Hardy Dam, they needed to get marl from the lakes over to the dam, is the way I understand it. So these trains, these small gauge trains, would haul marl from the other side of M37, the lakes such as Emerald and Sylvan, and then haul them out to the dam. So That's what I understand about this railroad grade. In fact, the railroad grade goes right through my backyard. Interesting too, you go back there with the metal detector, or eventually even just walking it, you'll find these little short railroad spikes, maybe only 4 inches long. We have some water down there, little swamp. This trail goes all the way around that swamp. Okay. So we have a mile and a half now. Oh, a big blue herring down there. Oh, that's cool. I wonder if there's little fish in that swamp. Probably not. It's mostly cattails. All right. See if I can get you a view. Where there he is. We're gonna head this way now. Something I always wondered about this park, they allow horses on some of the trails, but then as you saw that sign back there, it said no invasive species. You know, they really try to keep the invasive species out of here. What do horses poop? Seeds, grass. So, sorry about that. I got my radio on. It's a ham radio. I'm listening to 2-meter repeater out of Big Rapids, which is about 30 miles away. It's pretty active this morning. Young kid's been on it all morning. But anyhow, horses eat grass and plants and all kinds of, they eat anything. And their poop carries seeds. So I'm always surprised about why they're so worried about invasive species around here because of the Carner butterfly, but why they allow horses out here, which I don't have a problem with it, but you would think if they're trying to keep the invasive species down, they would have a problem with it. But hey, let them horses go where they want. Pretty good sized hill I'm hiking up here. So here's a neat chunk of the forest. All these red pines. They were planted, they've been here obviously a long time. Let's walk in here a little bit and show you how big they are. They're not big. They are spindly. I'm really surprised they've never thinned this down. That's some of those plantation pines, probably into, maybe in the 60s they planted those, I think, something like that is what I heard. All right, onwards. So there's not much of that out there. Those types of forests I'm not a big fan of. I mean, yeah, they produce quickly, but this is a little more natural out here now. This wetland is a pond, and it's been man-made. I'm not sure when it was made, and I don't know the history behind it, but I'm up on this berm right now where there's some geese out there. Where he or she or whoever did it 100 years ago or whenever they did this, piled up all the dirt. So you can see, probably got some dirt from down there to bank it up. But I'm guessing he had a drag line in this old swamp here and made himself a pond. Now, I've seen kids walking out here with fishing poles before. I've never fished it. I'll have to bring my ultralight down here and see what we can do. It's kind of interesting. They boat or bottoms of the boots are for the trail markers.
The following will play in 2½ minutes.
I'm on the west side of the pond right now. Gorgeous pond. No, I'm feeling great. I think, let's see how far we're into this. How far into this trip. 2.27 miles, so I'm doing good. We're gonna take a break right here. Nice apple. All right, the break has to come to an end, doesn't it? Got to carry on. So I was just listening to my amateur radio. Boy, 2 meters have been active lately on the Big Rapids repeater. So if you're into amateur radios, FYI. All right. Right now I'm just monitoring some simplex channels right now. Okay, so we're going to head out. Oh, probably didn't hear anything I said because of my mic, but we're going to head out now. This next film clip is for Terry, who just asked me how my gate was coming. I'll let him decide. This tube always interested me. I'm guessing the guy, when he built it, well, I don't know what it is. It's like a whole boiler. See if I can get down here without hurting myself or get close to it. What do we got in here? Yeah, I'm not sure. Anybody know what that is? Looks like an old boiler, but what would it be here for? Not sure. It's right on the base of the swamp. Probably 5 feet above the water, but maybe it goes down a ways down there. Maybe it was some sort of drain. Let's see what's on the other side here. I don't see any pipes coming out. Maybe down here? Not sure. Very interesting. So usually when I just get done sitting for a while, I forgot to tie my shoe. When I get done sitting for a while, it gets a little stiff. But I feel really good right now. We're about 2.5 miles. We're on the other side of this pond now. Those geese are mad at me. They must have a nest pretty close by. They're following me. I guess this is where they allow the horses to come down. Let's go check out those geese. Looks like a real shallow little pond. I've not seen any fish surface. But that sign said there's bluegill and perch. I would be suspect of that. We're right here. I need to get all the way over to here somehow. Does it look like this trail goes? It does. Looks like this trail goes up to here. So we're going to do that. Let's give that a try. This is another interesting old trail here. I don't know the history of it, but you can see this is actually man-made here too. Dirt was brought in, and this has always been here, so I'm guessing maybe in the logging days or something, just to make this hill a little better. So you can see on both sides it goes down. Interesting. This does look like an old road of some sort. They do show some old roads on some maps going back through here, so I bet this is one of them. I have some plat books all the way back to 1880, which is interesting. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was probably an old road going through there. A lot of big white pines through here. If you didn't know, white pine is our state tree of Michigan here. I have to show you this huge prairie up here. You'll like this. I don't know if this camera's going to do it any justice, but that's a giant prairie. I think I got to get around that. It's about a half mile. Some interesting history about the prairies around here. The biggest prairies east of the Mississippi are right across the street from my house. The blue-cornered butterfly habitat is really big here. And what the restoration to get back to the prairies is really underway around here. They're trying to get a lot of these, let's call them invasive species, a lot of oaks that have grown up through the prairies are taking a lot of them down and trying to get back some of the prairie land. Okay, we're right here. We came in here all the way around. Now we're heading back. And either I'm going to go up this spur line to get to these two tracks, or I'm going to keep going to this old parking spot and then cross over to the Bigelow. There's a bridge over there. That's nice. I don't have any more horse tracks to deal with. They really rut up the trail. Kind of makes it hard for walking. You know, maybe not somebody with a good knee, but somebody with a compromised knee makes it a little difficult. So I'm glad that's done. So we're on a nice trail now. It looks like they had a little four-wheeler trail. This is the first no camping sign I've seen. Now, I don't know if they don't want you camping in the prairie, or they just don't want you camping on this land at all. But it looks like we're going to go skirt the edge of this prairie here. Neat. That's that prairie I just showed you. This is really cool. Wow. Look at all these white pines popping up. That's so neat. You know, plant a tree every time you cut one down. This is nature. Just happening on its own. None of these were planted here. In fact, as things grow out in the prairie, they hand pull invasive species. They don't use herbicides or pesticides out here because of the blue-cornered butterfly. Well, this is kind of neat, isn't it? Little tunnel of trees. That's really nice. They have these little resting benches all along the trails here. I don't know why they have them on a chain. I'm about 3 miles back in the trail system. No one's going to steal those. Well, I shouldn't say that. Interesting. This is the Cool Bowl Stream, what the park is named after. Believe it or not, steelhead and salmon actually make it up this stream. crazy. Hey, if you made it this far in the video, you know, about my knee, stick around to the end and I'm going to show you my knee. This is turning out to be a little bit longer than I thought, but I'm feeling really good. You know what's starting to hurt? My other knee, my right knee. Now, yeah, it is bone on bone, much like the left, not quite as bad, so it's just starting to ache a little bit, but my new knee, absolutely nothing. Feeling really good. The endurance feels like it's still there. My legs are really not even getting tired. When I first started getting on my walks, that was the big deal. My legs would get tired. Now, what I've been noticing, and I mentioned it in my other videos, was the evening pain. And some of you know what I'm talking about, have had that knee done. You get that evening pain. Well, about the last week, it's really subsided. You know, I could go all day and then the evening I'd get a little bit of pain, but in the last week it's really subsided. It's really felt great. So it's going to be interesting to see how I do after today. And I'll probably have some sore calves tomorrow, but I suspect that will be about it. There's one of those red soles again. Lets me know I'm going in the right direction. Ooh, look at that big root ball. Big oak tree tipped over. Here's that cool bow. Let's go check that creek out from here. This direction. That's neat. That is, I love little streams. This stream, the Cool Ball, flows into the Bigelow. The Bigelow ends up going through our property, and that's a tributary of the Bigelow. Then the Bigelow flows into the Big Muskegon. Then the Big Muskegon, the Muskegon River, flows into Lake Michigan, and it enters Lake Michigan in the town of Muskegon. I'll never understand why people do the shoot signs. But anyhow, it looks like we're here now. I'm going to go up this direction and head this way. I think so. Because if I have to, I'd like to get over to here. Because if I have to walk all the way around and come back down our road, that's going to be another 4 or 5 miles. This is a pretty big hill. Doesn't look like it on camera, but I'm feeling it. Not any pain. Just, I feel muscles working. It feels great. One thing I've noticed out here as you go along, these trails get smaller and smaller the deeper you get. Not as many people get this far. All right. Maybe the next bench will take a break. The Valley of Ants. Walk through the Valley of Ants, huh? Sounds like a song. I have seen several ant hills, so maybe we'll find some. If we do, I'll point them out to you. This trail looks nothing more than a deer trail now. They do have some red dots. And I do see, occasionally I see the shoes on the tree. In fact, I see one coming up. You might see it too. If you look, you see these red oak trees here. We have had an infestation of something that come through and has killed a good majority, a good pile of our red oak and black oak trees. I suspect it's oak wilt, and that's now what the more people are starting to confirm, the foresters. But I don't think it's mapped yet, but I believe it's oak wilt. I've been saying it for a couple of years. I've seen some fungal patches. But they make some good trees for the birds to hang out in. So I'm here. I know if I go north, without my glasses I can't see, I think it says 0.34 miles, I can hit the 2-track, the North Country Trail. But I think if I continue this way, they say there's no parking lot here, and I know where that's at from my property. I can find my way across the Bigelow here to the woods. We'll work on that. hey guys, if you're thinking about getting your knee replaced, do it. If you're at that point where you're considering it, it's time most likely. As you go through the process, at least I do anyhow, one of the things I do is I get motivated by other people's words. And that's always been since I've been a kid. You know, I had a classmate say, I'll never break his record in weightlifting back in 1982, long time ago. 2 months later, I crushed his record. And that was only my sophomore year. Well, anyhow, when I had my 5-day evaluation after surgery, I had to fill out some forms. And one of the questions were, can you walk a mile? Now, 5 days after your surgery, another question was, can you run and jump on uneven ground? So I took this questionnaire back to the lady who gave it to me and said, obviously these questions must have been for pre-op, not post-op, because they wouldn't want you running 5 days after surgery on uneven ground to see if you can do it. It was absolutely ridiculous. So I gave it back to her. She goes, no, you have to fill that out. Just say no difficulty. I said, I can walk a mile. She goes, you can't. Her exact words, there's no way you could walk a mile. If you recall, 2 days later, the next day, I walked 2 miles. She spurred that on, and I did tell my PT guy, Brett, that statement she made to me, motivating statement. Well, here I am. I think I just about crossed the 4-mile mark. I just looked at the GPS. And it's not even 4 weeks. Well, it's 3 weeks and 6 days. So you're going to have enough motivation just to get back walking and moving. But I could always find a little bit more motivation somehow. And look for it. Look for that motivation. You know, I watched a lot of YouTube videos on knee replacement, what guys are doing. And some of the guys really inspired me. I remember one guy was riding a bike in 8 days, a road bike, a regular bicycle, down the road, down the sidewalk. I thought, whoa, that was cool. And then that was before I had the surgery. And as I went through it, I said, I could probably do that. However, I don't have a proper bike anymore. I need to get a new bike. So, all right. I'm not sure where we're at. We're a long ways out though. Here's my view right now. Looks like another savanna or prairie out there. Then there's an old road right here. Okay, we're on the edge of the Manistee National Forest. And now that land butts up to my property. So we're getting there. I think my property's probably 1.5 miles down the road yet. Interesting about these stakes too. Wonder what those, obviously to keep people out or vehicles out, but why not more of them? Very interesting. I'm not sure what this is all about. Why do people have to vandalize? Why? There is a no camping sign again. Ronald O'Cap. All right, I made it here. So we're going to figure out how to get to the Bigelow. Head east. So I'm going to be blazing a trail, aren't I? So I think I'm gonna go through right there. I got probably a quarter mile of forest to walk through. Let's see what the map GPS says here. No more benches either. I'm gonna find a log. You know what? I think if I follow this, what if we go this way? Let's see, that's gonna go due south. Don't get lost here, Jerry. I'm gonna go this way. Here's an old road. Yeah, so I'm gonna come in this way. I think this old road will get me to the North Country Hike Trail. I haven't been down this road in a long time. But I am. It's been a long walk. But according to my GPS, I'm going in the right direction. I should be up to the North Country Trail in about a quarter mile. All right, I made it to the North Country Trail. So I know where we're at now. Maybe a mile and a half to go, and I'll be at my house. Directly south of me right now, approximately directly south is my house. Oh, these pines are just majestic out here. There's a giant one out here, right next to us here to the left. Way up there in the sun. I'm gonna tell you, this is a happy sight. We're coming up to the Bigelow. This North Country Trail, the volunteers put all these little walkways anywhere where it's swampy and wet. This is the North Country Trail off of Basswood, north of Newaygo, Michigan, Brooks Township. It does get a lot of hikers on it. I've not seen anybody yet today on the Coolball trails or this trail. But here we are to the bridge. Finally made it. This is the Bigelow Creek right here. Again, that's what my channel's named after. This is a beautiful spot down here. This puts me at about a half a mile from my house as a crow flies. So I got to make a decision. Do I follow the trail to my house, which is an extra mile and a half? Or do I cut the corner and go through the forest? I think I'm going to cut the corner. I am getting tired. Not sore. Nothing hurts. But I am getting tired. Oh, this is so cool, the Bigelow. Our recreation property, you've been out there, you saw me walking out there, is right on top of that hill, about a quarter mile. And then this is the stream, creek, river that flows through it. Just beautiful. We're gonna go off trail, guys. We're exactly a half mile from my house. This will be a lot harder walking. I'm gonna have to be a lot slower through here because, again, I don't want to trip. But once I get on top of this ridge, it opens up a little bit. But I want to show you this white pine that fell out here. A couple years ago, I discovered it. All right, I got you set up so you can get a perspective of this. See how mucky this is. Huge. This is so cool. Hopefully you can see how big this is. Look at that. 15-foot tall, 30-foot wide. Wouldn't want to be here when things look back down. I want to get out of the way fast enough. It's huge. White pine. Look at the roots on that thing. It's just gorgeous. Let's walk around the other side. There it is. So this tree right here is almost even with my chest. Wow. I gotta get up that hill. It's not tall, but it's really steep. Plus, I have a new knee. Let's see how it goes. Oh, feels good though, actually. Stretching out my calf muscles. All right. Well, most unfortunate. I've had the mic on my hat the whole time, and I looked up and I see the blue light is out, meaning it's off. But then after a closer look, I lost the receiver for the camera somewhere out in the woods. So I'm gonna have to buy a new one. Darn it. Hopefully I can just buy the receiver, and I don't have to buy the whole setup again. We'll see. So we're getting there. But this field is right across the street from my house. So I did a big circle. You might be able to see my house right there. So we're almost there. I'm glad this hike's just about done. But it feels good. I feel really good. At no time was anything distressing. No pain whatsoever. So my other knee was a little wild, but I do have that worked out now. Thanks, guys, for coming along with me. And if you stuck around this long, stick around a little bit longer, and I'll give you a screenshot of the GPS, how far we walked, how many steps, and what my knee looks like currently. Remember, everybody's different. For some reason, I heal pretty quickly. However, I did put a lot of work into it before my surgery, and I do believe that's a big help. I did the same thing for my hips. I trained daily to get my hips replaced, and I trained daily to get my knee replaced. So if you're considering it, if you got some time, it's hard, I know, but get in the best shape of your life, or at least try to get in better shape than you currently are. It will just make it that much easier. All right, guys, I'll see you back at the house. There it is, right on the other side of that apple tree. This is something that's really interesting in our area. Prickly pear cactus. We have them actually growing in our backyard in our flower garden. They're a wintering cactus in Michigan. Well, that was an interesting walk. We walked that entire Coolbo Park and looped all the way back around. I'll put a screenshot of our track here in a second. And I came out here, it was 5.2 miles, something like that. You know, and I mentioned, maybe I didn't mention, I lost my transmitter. Sorry, I lost my receiver to my mics. So now they're useless. So I just walked back out. I checked the video and found the last place the mics were used. I just walked back out there. It was about a mile out there. I took the same route I took back, and there's no trails through there. I know what happened. I'm sure I was walking, and it just pulled out. I was using a phone to record this. Not this phone, but another old one. And the receiver plugs into the bottom of the phone in the USB-C. I'm sure I bumped a stick or something and snagged it and fell out. So I knew the last place I used it, and I only walked about 50 yards before I used it again on that big tree root that doesn't have any sound on it. It's because I didn't have the mic then. So I backtracked that 50 yards and I looked for it and I didn't find it. So I am at now 16,514 steps, and it's only 3:30. And 6.6 miles today. Not bad. Actually, that's really good for me. My knee, I told you I'd let you see what the knee looks like. I think my knee looks really good. I've been working the scar now. You get to about 3.5, 4 weeks, your staples are out, you're going to do scar massage, and that's only to keep it from getting tight and adhering. So I guess you're breaking up the scar tissue and loosening up the adhesions. And it just gives you a little bit more room to flex. I got lots of flex, though. I'm not worried about that. Yesterday I was at 126 at PT. So we're doing well with the flexion. Just keep doing what I'm doing. Again, no swelling. It looks just about like the other one. Only place there's a little smoother is right where the kneecap is. But other than that, it feels great. So keep moving, guys. If you've had that knee replaced or about to get that knee replaced, keep moving. It just makes it that much easier. Sorry about the clock. We'll wait for that to finish. So if you made it this far in the video, thanks for sticking around. Maybe you enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed the walk. I was able to see some things I haven't seen in a long time. Some areas of the surrounding area I have not seen in a while. So that was nice to get back out. So I wasn't doing that before my knee replacement because it hurt too bad. In fact, this knee actually hurt more today than this one gave me problems. My right knee was starting to act up there towards the end. It's just starting to fire a little bit. This one, there's nothing there. I mean, it doesn't feel like there's anything in there. No arthritis. You know, you'll get some tightness from the time you sit down and stand back up, or stand up and sit down, you know, just the transitions. No different than the arthritis you had, and now I don't have any pain in the joint. So, guys, I appreciate you coming along. This is week 4. I'll show you week 5 and week 6, and then I'll go monthly. I'm not going to probably do too many more of these 6-mile walks again. So, all right, guys, take care. And if you have some knee problems, start addressing them, take care of it. All right, guys. See you next time.